Open marriage request. Fiancée mentioned open marriage and I canceled our wedding. I replaced her for a better life. So everyone, even some of my own family members, sided with my ex-fiancée stating that I was overreacting. No one else besides Lil, her real name is Lilith, and I don't care about exposing her, but everyone calls her Lil and me, Dawn, were in our apartment when Lil asked me this dumb question. I just come home and she was drunk. Initially, she just brought the topic up and then asked, would I ever consider it? I immediately thought, it's over, especially after what we went through before the engagement. So I met Lil at my job. My ex-fiancée Lil owns a cleaning service and the firm I worked for, I'm no longer at that office, hired her company to clean our office. Lil made great money with her company and always kept clients. After seeing her a few times after working late, I stayed late on purpose once again to talk to her. The other times I talked to her, I didn't notice a ring, so I felt comfortable asking her if she was interested. After some small talk, she was glad to take my number and told me she'd be in touch. I didn't get a text from Lil for over a month. I remember a couple times I stayed late in the office just to run into her, and we spoke like usual. I never asked why she didn't call, and she didn't mention it, so I figured she wasn't interested. So after a while, I got the text from her. She says, hey, can I call? I texted back, who is this? She says, OMG, so sorry, it's Lilith. Is this a bad time? I said absolutely not, and she called right after. We talked for an hour or so, and within that hour, I asked why she took so long to reach out. She mentioned how she just left a relationship and wasn't ready and needed time to be alone. She told me she was ready to pursue dating again. I asked her how long was she in a relationship for, and she quickly shut it down, saying she just wished it never happened, and I didn't learn more about it until later. We ended up setting up a date, and that year she attended my office's Christmas party with me. We had a blast, and it was open bar. Lil had a bit too much to drink. She wasn't the only one, though. Two of my colleagues drank a bit much as well, and all three of them were getting down on the dance floor when I walked back inside. From going to the restroom, it's like my colleagues couldn't wait until I walked away to jump on my girl. Lil was bending and twerking, one colleague in front and other in back. I was beyond embarrassed. I snatched Lil from in between them, and we went up to our room at the Marriott. My company firm didn't want anyone driving home drunk. Actually, years ago, before I started working there, someone actually got into a horrible car accident, and he's paralyzed today. He actually used to visit the office from time to time. He's paralyzed from the waist down. He was drunk and decided to leave, and yeah, it happened to him. Sad story, actually. His wife divorced him a year after and apparently got a big payout from him. They didn't have children. It's a really sad story, but he always seemed to be in good spirits. Anyway, when Lil and I got up to our room, I lost it. She started crying and apologizing for embarrassing me. She said she drank a little too much and lost control. I went and took a shower. When I got out, Lil was asleep. The next morning, she was extremely sad and even cried, saying that she'd understand if I wanted to leave her. Now at this time, we never established exclusivity, even though she was the only person I was dating. I told her we could continue dating, no hard feelings, and see where it goes. She immediately got upset. Dating? I'm just a date to you? I thought we were together in a relationship? Are you seeing other girls? Oh my gosh, that's so messed up. I said, no, I'm not seeing anyone else at all. Only you. I told her we never had the conversation about being exclusive, but we can now. I definitely want to be exclusive with you if you want it as well. And right there is when we became official. Things seemed good for a bit until Lil started constantly accusing me of cheating. It was ridiculous. I couldn't go anywhere alone without her accusing me. It would be even worse if I had to do something for my job. Sometimes we'd have to go to conventions that were just in a different city in our state. The plan would be to stay the night because the convention would go late if she couldn't go with me. I would need to get home right after the convention demanded by her, or I was being accused of all kind of crap. Who am I seeing? I'm sleeping with someone. She just knows it. It was ridiculous. Drove me crazy, I will be honest. Lil and I's relationship was tough, and I wanted to leave a couple times before the engagement. It was Lilith's accusations. You're lying to me, aren't you? I can't even count how many times I've heard that. I know you're seeing someone else. There were times I'd come home and she'd want to smell my manhood. It got really weird. Lilith Marie Sanchez. For the last time, I'm not cheating on you. This was becoming routine. Anytime I was away from her, I love you more than anything in this world, is what I'd tell her. Stupid me thought taking this relationship to the next level would fix everything, guys. I was so dumb. So like an idiot, guys, I ended up proposing to Lilith. She was ecstatic, very happy, and cried a lot. But I remember her telling me that she was sorry for always accusing me, and she'll do better and will work on things. I hadn't heard that before. Usually it was, oh, I'm just good at hiding it, and I got away with it, and the truth will come out. She'd say things like karma is real, and it's going to come out, and what's done in the dark will come to the light. But in the beginning of our engagement, it was good actually for the most part of it. It wasn't that bad. She kind of did stop accusing me a lot. Little things here and there, like if we're in the bed and my phone dings notification of a text message, she would grab my phone. She wanted to see who it was. Typically my mother, or could have been a sibling, or my father. Those are the only people that were texting me that late at night, and it would be something about a basketball game, maybe the lottery, things of that nature. I do specifically remember one time during our engagement, so we were in bed. It was maybe 2 in the morning, maybe 3. We had a night of drinking and hanging out and having a good time, just us two, and we're in the bed, and I get a phone call. Unknown number didn't read unknown. It had the actual number and our same area code of our city, and I didn't answer. I said, I don't know that number. She gave me that look as if I was lying. I said, I have no idea who that is. They did not leave a voicemail. She started accusing me and telling me how she knew it was going to come out one day. I want to call that number back. Call back, is what Lil said. I picked up the phone, getting ready to call the number back because she wanted me to, and then the number calls again. I got a little scared, guys. I'm wondering who this is. I don't cheat. I don't sneak around, and I don't know who it could have been, but we found out. I answered the phone, hello, and it's a girl. Sounds like a young girl, not a child, but just like maybe a young college girl or something. The girl says, can I speak to Ray? I said, ma'am, I think you have the wrong number. I look over at Lil, and she has resting B face. I said, sorry, ma'am, wrong number, and I ended the call. The number calls back again. I didn't want to answer, but Lil demanded I did. I answer, hello. Hey, is this Ray? It's Shannon. I said, this is not Ray. You have the wrong number. We don't know a Shannon. Good night, hun. I end the call, and I look over at Lilith. She immediately says, hun, good night. Hun, you have to be kidding me. Who the heck was that? She knows you as Ray. Is that what you told her your name is, Ray? Why did you call her hun? You have to have some type of feelings for her to call her hun. I said I have no idea who the heck that was. Who is Ray? My name doesn't even start with an R, guys. I don't know who this person was. I told her I was going to sleep. I'm not about to argue about this. I told Lil, here you can have my phone, call her all you want. Investigate. I don't know this person. I gave her my phone. She knows my password, and she didn't call. She told me it's awfully weird. I immediately fell asleep. Guess who woke me up by slamming a pillow on my head around 4:30 a.m.? Yep, Lil, wake up. I just think that was really weird that she'd call you asking for Ray. and she called back like she was sure it was his number. You end the call by telling her, "Have a good night. Hun, no one just calls a random person." "They don't know, hun. You're so full of crap. I want to know who it was. I'm taking this ring off if you don't tell me the truth." I said, "Lilith, call this woman right now. Call her back. The number is there. You know it. Question her. Ask her all about me. See if she knows. I promise you I don't cheat. I've never cheated. I don't have any female friends. No exes are trying to get at me. I don't know who that was, and actually, I don't really give a F who it was anymore. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I got things to do at 10 a.m. And it leave me alone. I went back to sleep when I got up in the morning around 8. I needed to get ready to head out. Lil wasn't even talking to me. She prepared breakfast and everything for herself. She sat there with the smirk on her face, eating waffles, eggs, and bacon. Usually she'd make me breakfast. She didn't make me anything. I didn't say anything, but she eventually said, "I would have made you breakfast, but I know you had to be somewhere this morning, so I figured you just picked something up." I didn't say anything back. I made me some coffee real quick, and I headed out. This was another time when I was figuring I was going to end things with Lilith. Heck, I should have never proposed to her. I should have ended it a long time ago. I'm sure a lot of you will agree, but I didn't know. I was stupid. She ended up calling me while I was out running errands that day, and she apologized to me. She told me she's going to work harder on trusting, and she wants to go into therapy. She truly will, she said. She doesn't want to bring this into our marriage. I was pretty short on the phone. I just wanted to talk to her. I got home around 3:30 that day, and she had prepared dinner early. It smelled really good, and it tasted really good. We kind of made up a little bit. I laid out my frustrations with everything, and I told her I was just sick and tired of it. I couldn't deal with it anymore. She told me not to worry. It'll never ever happen again. She apologized, then we made love and sort of made up. That didn't last very long, because one day after work, I get home and Lilith has had a whole bottle of wine, almost a whole bottle. It was pretty full because we only had a couple glasses from that same bottle, and she finished it. She started rambling on about some stuff and talking about marriage, and then talking about how she was reading some books and been watching YouTube videos on this specific topic, which was open marriage. She thought that I may have way more experience than her and we needed to be equal. She needs to catch up to me, so it'll only be fair if we had an open marriage just until she catches up. I couldn't believe she was saying this. She wanted a one-sided open marriage, guys, so I was supposed to allow her to go sleep with other men until she felt like she caught up to me. Now, guys, with all the accusations she accused me of and told me I was doing this and doing that, how long do you think she would have taken to catch up to me? Now, I haven't been out doing anything and I haven't had a lot of bodies before her, but if she thinks that I'm sleeping with people, she would have used that as an excuse to sleep with someone else many times, saying things like, "Well, I'm not caught up with you yet. I'm not about to have that type of relationship." So I told her no, but you can be single and do exactly what you want to do. We're done. I'm not marrying you. I want nothing to do with you. In fact, I'm moving out, and I'm going to take the job offer that my job offered me. I'll be moving to a different city and working for a different location as a manager. You have a nice life. Guys, she was pissed. She actually threw the empty bottle of wine at me. It didn't break actually, but it did hit the floor. I was done. I said, "You're assaulting me. I can call the police on you." She starts crying. "Please don't do this. I just wanted to be even." I told her, "You're freaking crazy. You never went and saw that therapist like you were supposed to." Guys, after that one incident where we made up, she actually did schedule a therapist, but she never went, paid for it and everything. I was done. Sucks that I went through all that to be done, but I was over it, man. A lot of times when she would accuse me, I would think, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong to make her think that I'm cheating. and I need to change it. I started to blame myself. I allowed her to get in my head and do that, but in all actuality, she's freaking crazy, point blank, period. When I was packing my things, I was going to go stay with my brother at his house. She threw the ring at me. I felt it hit my back and it hit the floor. I bent down. I grabbed it, and I didn't have any intentions on even taking the ring back. I was going to take it as a loss, but when she threw it at me, I said, hey, I can get some money for this, put it in my pocket, grabbed my things, and I was out. We only had a few more months left on our lease. Anyway, the plan was to get another place and buy later after being married, but I wasn't marrying her. I was going to accept this new position that was offered to me, and I was going to leave by myself. She was not going with me, sayonara. I made sure I grabbed a lot of my electronics, things that were really important to me, and some clothes, but after telling her no in text messages and ignoring her calls and hanging up on her once not responding to her Facebook DMs, she sent me a Facebook DM of my clothes on fire. Yep, she found some type of canister or some metal canister of some sort. My clothes are in it. I saw pictures of us on top of the clothes. She drenched them in something and burned them, and video recorded it, even put her face in the video, so this helped me get some money back because I did sue her in small claims court. I only walked away with a couple $1,000s, but it was something. She claimed all my clothes were cheap and weren't even worth $200. You could see in the video some of the shirts and some of the pants, and I proved they were worth what I said. They were a lot more too. You could see how the barrel was filled all the way up to the top. She had put everything in there. She stuffed everything, and she burned it. I'm so glad I grabbed my laptops and my GoPro cameras. Things like that. That bee was crazy, man. She was nuts. I spoke to one of her sisters once after this event. Her sister was telling me how wrong I was for cheating on her sister and just leaving her. Why would I ask her to marry me if I was going to do that? She really looked at me as a brother, and I laughed, and I couldn't help myself. But I started laughing, and her sister was telling me how evil I was, and I said, no, wait, please, let me tell you. This is before I sued her. I told her sister everything, how her sister always accused me of things like that, and then she asked me for the open marriage, and it needed to be one-sided. That's why I canceled the wedding, and I told her about how I was going to sue her, and I showed her the video she sent me of her burning my things and text messages, things that we talked about, and I pretty much proved my case to her, and her sister believed me. I'm glad she did, because I'm pretty sure the whole family on their side thought that I was just cheater and I did all the stuff to her. That just wasn't true. Her sister did tell me that Lil has insecurities, and she has had problems with people as far as accusing them of things. Even friends, not just boyfriends. She always thinks that someone's out to get her. And, guys, check this out. That wasn't the end of the conversation with Lil's sister. She proceeded to tell me that she always found me attractive, and she thinks that I'm a great guy and any woman would be lucky to have me. I said, thanks, all right. I gotta go now. She says, wait, since you and my sister aren't together, you think maybe we could hang out sometime. Maybe I can come over and make you feel better. Guys, I hung that phone up so fast. As attractive as Lil's sister is, I wasn't gonna do it. It wasn't worth it. That'll give her some type of ammo. Oh, he is a cheater on top of that. He slept with my sister. I'm gonna off him or something. I wasn't going. I had no interest in doing that. Well, I did, but I didn't, you know? Way too many fish in the sea. It just wasn't worth it. Dude, you really put up with a lot. Seriously, man. Like from the her getting buck wild at the Christmas party, kind of showing how she is when she gets a little alcohol in her. See, stuff like that scares me. You see how they act with alcohol? Can you imagine her out by herself? You know, say she was out at the club, got drunk, and she's dancing between two guys. You think when you're not there and those two guys are like, hey, you want to come upstairs to one of our rooms? You think she's not going to go? You want to go over to the bathroom, go to my car, something? It's risky, man. But honestly, that whole accusations telling you, oh, I know you're sleeping with somebody. Oh, I know you're doing this. Oh, I know. 9 times out of 10, man, it's projections. It's projecting, man. She probably was doing something the whole time. You probably didn't even bother to look through any of her things. The whole time, it was all her. At the end of the day, you know what? I think you had more potties than I had. So let's open up our marriage. No, let's not. Let's not. It's pitiful, man. It's ridiculous. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.